What's going on, you guys? Welcome to It's Real to Us, the wrestling podcast. On today's show, we are going to recap and review the July 8th edition of Monday Night Raw. Of course, I am Anthony the Mark. He's Tony the Father.
What's going on, everybody? Another Monday night.
And we are going to get right on into it because Mommy is back. Rhea Ripley made her highly anticipated debut at the worst possible moment after resisting Liv Morgan's temptations for weeks, after Liv helped Dominic pick up a win against his dad, his first win ever against his dad. It seemed as if Mysterio was finally going to give in and kiss his stepmommy, but then boom! Mommy kicked down the doors and Rhea Ripley is back to reign hell over Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan.
It's just been reported that Liv Morgan has already crossed the border and she's back in the United States because this was in Canada tonight. I tell you, I wouldn't want to be Liv Morgan right now because Rhea is pissed. I guarantee you right now, Dom's getting his ass whipped. He's going to be the first one, but she's going to take her frustrations out on Liv Morgan. So only thing I can do for you, Liv, run and hide. Run and hide. That's all you can do right now.
And with the return of Rhea Ripley, the stories just get better and better. There are so many different directions this Judgment Day Liv Morgan story can go. We talked about it on a couple of podcasts recently. Is there a civil war coming in the Judgment Day? Is Dominic Mysterio not going to love his mommy coming back yelling at him when he's got such a hot stepmommy who will do everything he wants in, another corner? I don't know. I could see Dominic teaming with Liv and leaving the Judgment Day.
I don't know. They didn't let this boil enough. That's the problem. Liv was just weaseling her way in.
They've been doing it for weeks.
There ain't going to be no civil war. The atomic bomb was dropped tonight. So she's coming back, Rhea. We're going to see what happens. But Liv is going to need somebody in her side. If they all abandon and go right back to Rhea, Liv is dead. So I don't know. We're going to see. Was Dom going to turn? Maybe Finn. We get Finn because, Finn, Carlito, and Madonna were playing video games with Liv last week. So, maybe Rhea's going to come back too strong, too tough. I don't know. We'll see. But it's going to be interesting. I kind of hope there is a little division where Liv gets somebody on her side because if she don't, she's done.
Well, it seems as if Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley are still cool. Raw opened up, and Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio, they were backstage a bunch, flirting. I mean, at one point, the entire Judgment Day walked in on Dominic Mysterio as Liv Morgan was stretching him out. That was very funny.
Yeah, that was hysterical.
But
it feels good. It feels good.
But also earlier in the night.
Yeah, it would feel good.
Yeah, Dom's like, oh, yeah, you know what? That does feel good.
I know.
But anyways, Damian Priest was on the phone. Now we know he was talking to Rhea Ripley as in I'll see you later. So it's obvious that they're still close.
Yeah, but you know what's going to piss everyone off? Damian knew she was coming back. He didn't tell nobody. And if it comes out that Finn, McDonough, and Dom were in the dark, that might just be enough to turn those three with Liv. And you got those three on one side, Damian and Rhea on the other side. Because Rhea's got to play her cards right. She's got to be careful. If she comes across too hard or too fucking domineering, it might not fly. So we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, we know Finn and Damian have had their troubles in the past, and it seems as if Balor each passing week is ready to just turn his back on Damian Priest altogether. Obviously, Balor is tag team champions with J.D. McDonough, the Irish Ace. Obviously, also Finn Balor brought J.D. McDonough into the Judgment Day, so McDonough is loyal to Balor, and Carlito's been hanging around with them. Like you said, he's been boys. He's been hanging out with Liv Morgan. He's just happy to be there.
Rhea might just come on so strong, and Damian might throw Finn and the others under a bus where they have no choice, but they have to fight back and strike out. I got a feeling that's what's going to happen. Damian's going to throw everybody under the bus. Rhea's going to come on so strong and hard, and it's going to blow up, and they're going to be like, you know what? F you. We don't need this. We don't need you. We got the titles. We don't need none of this. And you're going to have a little war.
So it's going to be fun to see exactly what happens. And maybe we're wrong. Maybe that's not the direction they go. Maybe Judgment Day just becomes one big happy family again. That's the thing I love about this.
What are they going to adopt Liv? She's the stepdaughter now?
I love it. Why not?
Instead of the stepmommy, she should be the stepdaughter.
Yeah. Hey,
the stepmommy.
What easier way to get the title back in Judgment Day than just by recruiting the champion?
The key to this is where is Dom going to go? Is he like the attention and he's being treated like a man with Liv, or is he going to go back to be treating like a mush?
Yeah.
Like a wuss, like a mush, like a domineering. Rhea is so domineering, he might just say, you know what? Screw you.
Grass is greener on the other side.
There you go. So we're going to see. Something's going to happen, though. It's going to be fun, though.
Yeah, that's a great point by the father. And also, Dominic Mysterio just picked up one of the biggest wins of his career. He defeated his father, Rey Mysterio, in the main event of Raw. And before this, Dominic was 0-3 against Rey. Yeah. So he's going to see, look at what Liv's doing for me. She's helping me be my best self. Why would I want to be with Rhea?
There you go. And Finn and McDonough are tag team champs because Liv got the match for them. Liv helped them win the match. So don't think this is going to be just Rhea's going to come back and put her fist down. I think everyone might be a little tired of Damian and maybe Rhea. So it could be kind of fun here what happens, and it's going to come down to Dom. Because if Dom sides with Rhea, it could all fall back to the way it was. But for some reason, if he goes the other way, I know McDonough, I know Finn, and I know Carlito are going to fucking go with them.
The Judgment Day are can't-miss TV on Monday Night Raw.
It's going to be great next week. We're going to see what's happening. But I know one thing. Liv has her handful because no matter what, at the end of the day, Rhea wants her head.
Obviously, we're heading to a showdown at SummerSlam, Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the world title. And I would assume that's where we figure out where Dominic's loyalties lie. That is going to be the line in the sand where Dominic picks his mommy or his stepmommy. So
I don't think it's going to be at SummerSlam. I think that there's going to be some lines drawn in the sand before then because you can't just have Liv by herself now until SummerSlam. It's never going to work.
But maybe we get a turn at SummerSlam.
I don't think you're going to see a turn. I think you're going to see – I think within the next 2 weeks you're going to see the side set for SummerSlam.
All right, well –
who's going to be on whose side. And then maybe at SummerSlam, depending on who wins, you're going to see more. Maybe they'll go back or maybe they won't. But I think you're going to have a division sooner than later.
Okay, well, whatever happens, it's going to be entertaining, it's going to be fun, and we're going to update you along the way. But for now, we're going to move on. We'll talk about a little bit of the other member of the Judgment Day, who is the supposed leader who's taking a back seat and has been at the forefront of a lot of criticism lately, and that is Damian Priest. So after successfully defending the World Heavyweight Championship at Money in the Bank in a so-so match that was heavily featured and heavily criticized for a horrific botch that some people are saying is Damian Priest's fault, some people are saying isn't. It seems as if this show was
what do you mean isn't? He laid in his back for 20 minutes.
I understand, but a lot of people were saying it was a production miscue. Other people are saying he forgot to kick out. Whatever the story may be.
The ref knew that he wasn't getting pinned. Seth Rollins knew he wasn't getting pinned. The only one that forgot he wasn't getting pinned was Damian Priest. That was a major flub. Call it what it is. He screwed up. That's that. He should have pulled himself up or kicked out. He laid there for about 7-8 seconds.
Yeah. And this week, WWE, they acknowledged it a couple of times. Priest backstage a little bit. You saw it in his face. He was saying, hey, Seth, shenanigans and stuff happen. So, you know, that gentleman's deal we had at Money in the Bank is off. You can still challenge for the world title after I'm done with Gunther. And speaking of Seth Rollins, he had a oh-so-very juicy face-to-face with the one and only CM Punk. They hate each other, in case you didn't know, and that was made even more obvious in this promo.
No, Seth hates CM Punk more than CM Punk hates Seth. In real life, Seth Rollins does not like CM Punk. He's made that perfectly clear. He didn't want him coming back to the company when he was with AEW. He said good riddance. There's a lot of bad blood there, not just manufactured or storytelling bad blood. Seth Rollins really hates this guy. So I hope that Seth Rollins gets him. CM Punk is a weasel. I'm going to say it right now. I know there's a lot of people that love CM Punk. I love them too. He's a weasel. Since he's been back, he fought in the Royal Rumble. He got hurt. He's done nothing but promos. He's a weasel, and I hope Seth gets a hold of him. And Drew. So I think CM Punk's going to be getting a lot of ass kicking coming up very soon.
And to the point of CM Punk being a weasel, he went ahead, CM Punk that is, and apologized to Seth Rollins for interfering in his match, possibly costing Rollins the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah.
And then he took the apology back.
The weasel.
It's like, you had a good move. Like, it was a tip of the cap. All right, respect. I can appreciate you having an issue with Drew McIntyre, and there's nothing you can do. You just see rage, you see blood, and you can't control yourself, so you interfere. But then you were the better man, and you apologized to Rollins, and that was a class act. I was surprised, and I was like, "Oh wow, CM Punk, this is a face move." And then nope, he takes it away. He's arrogant. He's entitled.
Yeah,
I still love CM Punk, but you got to call it like he is. He's kind of a dick.
You hit the nail on the head. He feels entitled. He thinks he's special. He thinks he's above everybody. So at CM Punk, you're going to get yours coming soon because Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre are two guys you don't want to be messing with. They're going to hurt you down the road. So it's going to be fun. We'll see what happens. I'm thinking it's definitely going to be Drew versus CM Punk at SummerSlam. Is it possibly it's going to be a triple threat? And they're going to throw Seth in there? I don't know, but we're going to find out. But down the road, Seth Rollins is going to get CM Punk alone in the ring, and that's when CM Punk's going to be in trouble.
And although Drew McIntyre wasn't on Raw this week because he was suspended for putting his hands on Adam Pearce, it was announced that McIntyre will be back to Raw next week. So, hey, maybe we get Rollins, maybe we get McIntyre, maybe we get Punk all in the ring at the same time. We remember how electric that promo that the three of them had when they were all together. McIntyre was sitting on the desk. Rollins and Punk were at each other's throat. So when the three of them are on TV, it's can't miss. And you were talking about probably getting CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, or whether or not it's a triple threat.
Yeah.
What does everybody think? I'm still trying to
Well, it's got to be CM Punk versus Drew. Come on, for 3 months now, CM Punk interferes in Drew's matches in Scotland, at King of the Ring, at Money in the Bank, all the big pay events. Drew thinks he's going to win a title. He's going to win this. He's going to do that. And CM Punk, at the end of the day, takes it away from him. Then Drew comes over the top on a Raw, beats him up, puts him out of commission. So this is boiled now. It's boiled. It's got to come to a head. And I think SummerSlam will come to an head.
It would also kind of piss me off if WWE, in a sense, gave Drew McIntyre the Money in the Bank, had him lose it, and then, now we just have a triple threat between these three guys, and not having a one-on-one match seems like a disservice to the fans, and seems like a disservice to this feud in general.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I do think a triple threat match would be better in terms of an in-ring quality point of view than just CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. You said it yourself. Punk has been back in WWE and he's wrestled one match, and he tore his tricep in that match.
He's not even cleared to wrestle, so
and he's not cleared to wrestle. So we're
jumping the gun.
Yeah,
he's not even cleared to wrestle.
We're going to put this guy in what a lot of people think could be the main event of SummerSlam. He's got one match under his belt, and we're expecting him to deliver? I don't know. It might just be a safer bet to throw Rollins in the mix and be like, okay, go have a 5-star match.
Against who? Drew?
Drew and CM Punk in a triple threat match.
Well, that's what they're hoping that it's going to go. They're looking at a triple threat right now, because what are you going to do with Seth at SummerSlam? He's got no story with nobody.
His story is with CM Punk.
There you go. They're going to have a triple threat at SummerSlam, and that's going to be interesting. Who wins that triple threat? You don't know. It could be CM Punk. It could be Drew. It could be Seth. Who takes the pin? How does it go? So it would be a definitely interesting match that no one knows. And you can go a lot of different ways with it. So I wouldn't mind seeing it. But at the end of the day, CM Punk is a punk. And I just want him to lose, because he's one of these entitled people. The way he acts, the way he walks around, he does nothing. And you know what? I know a lot of people are not going to be happy. A lot of CM Punk fans. I don't know. I'm not one of them, so I'm rooting against them.
I love the take. I do love CM Punk, so I'm not going to say I stand with that take, but I understand where you're coming from. The sense of entitlement, the arrogance, you see it on his face. But I think whether it's CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Drew McIntyre, we are in store for a very fun matchup. So let's go ahead. Let's leave that there from now on, and let's move on to how Monday Night Raw started. And that is with a showdown between two men who were vying for the Money in the Bank briefcase on Saturday till the very end, that being Jey Uso and Chad Gable. A very, very fun way to open the night, and I'd like to see these guys go back and forth again. But in the end, after the Wyatt Six made their presence felt, belt. Chad Gable found himself on the receiving end of a spear from Jey Uso. 1, 2, 3 later. Main event, Jey Uso saw the lights go dark. He yeeted and he ran away.
He went, yeet, 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 I'm out of here.
He
didn't want no part of the Wyatt Sick. And, Gable is definitely their first person on the Wyatt Sick. That's what they are now, not six, sick.
The local,
The
baby.
Wyatt Sick. He's the first person on that hit list. They have it in for Gable because he's not a good father. He's not a good leader, and that's what they're looking to do. They're looking to get people like that.
So anyway, on the VHS tape, Bo Dallas pretty much just explained that his family are the forgotten ones, the ones that nobody wanted, but he is here. They are here to, I don't know, terrorize Chad Gable, terrorize anybody who gets in their way. And this was a quicker VHS tape. There wasn't too much to look into. It felt like a simplified version of what we've seen over the last 2 weeks, at least in my opinion. But the big takeaway is when Adam Pearce was walking into his office, we saw Bo Dallas, not Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas waiting to talk to the Raw general manager. Tony, what could Bo Dallas possibly want to talk to Adam Pearce about?
He had a smirk on his face, too. He was smiling. Well, Bo Dallas is going to wrestle, too. They're not just going to be mysterious characters and they're going to be in the dark. He wanted to talk about physically probably getting into the ring. He's looking for a match, probably against Gable. That's what I think he was going to talk about because, Gable is on their hit list, the Wyatt Sick, so it's probably a match against Gable. And not for nothing, I would like to see Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy fight Gable. I think that's going to be your first match is going to be Gable versus Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy. Maybe not at SummerSlam, but possibly at SummerSlam.
I would like to see it at SummerSlam because if you go back to 2019, I'm pretty positive. I'm going to have to fact check myself, but I'm going to give the take and let it fly right now. Finn Balor fought The Fiend in The Fiend's first match in a WWE ring. You'd seen all these creepy vignettes. You had seen all of the promos and the attacks and all of the violence and the character. You saw a glimpse of what the character could do. But The Fiend got into the ring for the very first time in 2019, 5 years ago at SummerSlam. Wouldn't it be amazing to see Uncle Howdy, a character from the mind of Bray Wyatt and Bray Wyatt's brother, in a match for the first time as Uncle Howdy against Chad Gable? That's what I think would be amazing.
That's if that's the fact, 5 years, there you go. That's going to be the match. But check this out. What if in 2 weeks, Chad Gable doesn't fight Uncle Howdy? He fights Bo Dallas and beats Bo Dallas at SummerSlam. Then he fights Uncle Howdy and he loses.
No,
Why not? I love that
no,
split personality.
No.
Why?
No.
Why?
You can't have Bo lose. Bo isn't going to wrestle. Uncle Howdy should wrestle.
But why?
He's a new supernatural character. And
Uncle Howdy is a supernatural character, not Bo Dallas.
When The Fiend debuted, they didn't have Bray Wyatt wrestling first. They had The Fiend wrestling. You want the supernatural character because it brings a whole different essence and aura to a match. You're going to have him drop all these cryptic promos for 3 weeks and you're going to have him lose to Chad Gable after they murdered him? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Not if Uncle Howdy is going to show up at SummerSlam and cripple Gable and beat him. I don't.
Just have him do it at SummerSlam. Why do you need him to have him lose?
You saw Bo Dallas tonight, right? So maybe it's going to be Bo Dallas that debuts.
I don't know.
Before Uncle Howdy does.
We disagree, but what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. You can also reach out to us at any one of our socials. On X, Instagram, and TikTok, we are at It's Real to Us. And on YouTube, we are at It's Real to Us 1. Just a couple of other things that happened on the show. We'll spend a couple more minutes, then we'll send you people on your way. Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker once again had an altercation. After successfully beating Braun Breaker at Money in the Bank, Sami Zayn was in Canada, where he's beloved because he is Canadian. And Braun Breaker came in and simply said, Sammy, you're the better man. You beat me. But then he speared him.
No, that's not right. Now, if you watch tonight, Sami Zayn provoked Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker walked in the ring, didn't say nothing. Sammy's like, what are you doing here? You got something to say? I beat you already? And then he took the mic and he pushed it into his chest. So, you know what?
Braun
Sammy
was sitting and just staring
at him. It doesn't matter.
He
wasn't doing nothing. He didn't raise his hand. He didn't do anything. Sammy took the microphone and pushed it into his chest. So what do you think Braun Breaker's going to do? He maybe was coming out. He even said, Sammy, you're the only one backstage that wasn't afraid of me. You're the only one that beat me. And then Sammy kind of got a little cocky, I think. So I'm glad he got a little he got a little cocky, and Braun paid him back. He got pissed off. You know, you're not dealing with a stable guy, Sammy.
And after Braun Breaker hit a vicious spear on Sami Zayn, Ilya Dragunov came out, made the save, and a match between those two was set up for later in the night, and it was a good one. Super physical. If anybody saw their first match between these guys a couple of weeks ago,
be stars.
You knew that this was going to be a good one. Back and forth. Both men had an opportunity to win at points, but in the end, as the action spilled to the outside, Braun Breaker took a chair and chucked it in Ilya Dragunov's face, causing a disqualification. And I love this book. Okay, I love it because Braun Breaker just lost. He's frustrated. He can take another loss. This is a big win for Ilya, too. And it gets him involved in the story because after Braun Breaker threw the chair in Ilya's face, he continued to assault Dragunov until Sami Zayn came down, and then we had an all-out brawl between the three of them.
And it sets up a triple threat, possibly another triple threat. There might be a lot of triple threats at SummerSlam this year. So we'll see what happens with that. But if Sammy is going to fight Braun Breaker again at SummerSlam, they're not going to let Braun Breaker lose. He's going to win and take the title away. So the triple threat allows Sammy to win, it allows Braun to win, it allows Dragunov to win, and it saves face for the other people too. So that's probably the way they're going to go with it, is a triple threat at SummerSlam. But we'll have to see. You know, it's still a whole month in between. There's a lot can happen.
Yeah, a lot can happen. So it's going to be interesting to see the road to SummerSlam and what becomes official, what things that we're speculating on are going to sound ridiculous. Like we just said, there's going to be 2 triple threats. There could be no triple threats. So WWE is doing a good job of keeping us on our toes. We had a rough Raw last week and a not-so-great SmackDown. WWE came back this week and they delivered. A couple of other things that happened on the show. Bronson Reed beat Pete Dunne. Then Sheamus came down after the match. Bronson Reed was beating up Pete Dunne. Sheamus made the save, but Pete Dunne wasn't so happy to see his former Brawling Brutes teammate. Instead, he was a little standoffish.
Yeah,
Tony.
we can't blame him. He's looking at Sheamus like, where you been, dude? You turn your back on us. He's like the father that abandoned his family. You know, and then he shows up and he wants to be embraced. We are the world. And
we are the world.
Yeah, we are the world. He didn't want nothing to do with it. He's like, you know what, Sheamus? I've been fine without you. Go scratch. So maybe that sets up a Sheamus-Pete Dunne match. I wouldn't mind seeing that either.
I would love that.
That's another possible SummerSlam match that everybody would
I don't know
like
if
to
SummerSlam, but
why not? You could put a SummerSlam.
I don't know if Pete
match.
Dunne screams SummerSlam. Even at this point in his career, Sheamus doesn't scream SummerSlam.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe not SummerSlam. Maybe the night after SummerSlam or Raw or something before, whatever. But it sets it up for a nice little feud there. Or they talk it out and they embrace and they do something together maybe.
So we'll see what happens there. Maybe we got to get Rich Holland back involved. But
Yeah, what happened to Rich Holland?
he's in NXT right now with Chase U.
So, yeah, you never know. He could come back up. You got the Brawling Brutes again. I love the Brawling Brutes, so I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah, we'll see. But it seems like Sheamus and Bronson are going to fight. How Pete Dunne factors into that feud, we'll see. Elsewhere on the show, we had a 6-woman tag. Dakota Kai. Damage Control, which is Dakota Kai, Kairi Sane, and Io Sky at the moment, beat KC2 and Lyra Valkyria. And then after the match, Sonya Deville, Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler attacked Damage Control. Tony, what was your impression of that?
The impression I got of that is the SummerSlam is going to be, they're going to change the name. It's going to be the Triple Threat SummerSlam this year. I don't know. You could have another Triple Threat set up right there. What do you do with that? Sonya Deville is back.
The Triple Threat Women's Tag Team?
Yeah, maybe. That's another match.
I don't think it goes on SummerSlam. The Triple H era has 5 to 6.
What are you going to do with the women on SummerSlam, though? There's always SummerSlam.
They have Rhea versus Liv.
That's the
they
one
have
match.
Bayley versus Nia.
Okay.
They only have 5, 6 matches.
So maybe not, but next couple of weeks is going to be something to entertain. Put it this way. You're probably 100% right. It's a nice little feud to have between now and SummerSlam.
Yeah.
It gives us some time on TV to talk, and it's a nice match.
And it continues to load up the women's undercard, which, as of lately, rumors have been speculating that WWE is thinking about issuing 2 undercard mid-card championships similar to an Intercontinental and United States title for the women's division.
Yeah.
So if that is the case, this type of feud where you have 9 women right now who were involved in a segment on Monday Night Raw, and then Isla Dawn and Alba Fire confronted the new
tag
trio
team champs,
backstage. There's a lot of women that are going to be on TV looking competitive. That
another belt wouldn't be a bad idea, because those women we're talking about are not going to beat Rhea, are not going to be in a Bayley match. So yeah, it'd be something nice to do for them. Sure.
Last match we saw Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and Carlito versus the Awesome Truth and Braun Strowman. Judgment Day picked up the win, and it looked like the Miz was getting a little upset with R-Truth after the match.
I think the Miz has had it with R-Truth, because
kind of being a joke.
The Miz was commentating 2 weeks ago. He was on the mic, and then he got baited into losing his title, basically, because of R-Truth and Liv Morgan. So that's another thing that you're probably going to see. That Awesome Truth is going to be awesome bye-bye soon. And those two guys fighting is what's going to happen down the road. Whether it's a SummerSlam match or not, I think the Awesome Truth is the Awesome Nothing very soon.
I completely agree. So we'll see what happens there. Let's. So I got 2 questions, and then we're going to send everybody on their way. What was your favorite part of Raw? Let's go one at a time.
Favorite part of Raw tonight? There was a lot of good spots in Raw tonight. We're forgetting about the Seth Rollins promo.
Yeah, I'll give you mine.
I'll give you. Well, did you ask me, or you?
It sounded like you were thinking about it.
Well, I am thinking. Well, you asked me a question. I got, I'm responding, but it didn't come on top of my head. So let me. You want to order first? You order first. Let me look at the menu.
Would you like to think about it?
No, I got to look at the menu. You know what you want? Order.
Yes. My favorite part of the night was the continuing development and relationship between Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio, because tonight was the night you can definitively say Dominic Mysterio was won over by Liv Morgan. Okay, whether it was Dom agreeing to the stretching or Dom beating Rey Mysterio, nearly kissing Liv Morgan at the end of the night, you can see it in his eyes. She has him. And that relationship has been can't miss TV, and it's boiling down, and it keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and eventually it's going to explode. And I don't know what's going to happen when that does eventually happen. I kind of want to see Rhea Ripley end up hitting a riptide on Dominic Mysterio and kicking the crap out of him. So in order to get there, we need Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan to shack up. I hope that happens in the coming weeks. I hope Dominic turns on Rhea. Rhea goes crazy. We get her as an insane babyface for SummerSlam. So I think all that is still possible because of the events that happened tonight with Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan.
Yeah. You know what? It's going to happen. Rhea and Liv, everybody knows SummerSlam, that's where they're going to collide. It's just how is it going to get there? How's it going to get set up? Whose side are they on? It's not going to be all one-sided and Liv's by herself. There's going to be a breakup within the Judgment Day. It's coming, and you can see it. So it's a matter of who's going to go where and what. And Dom is the pivot point. He's the pitch point, I think. He's that one. Does he go with Rhea or does he go with Liv? And that's going to be key. So we're going to wait and see. My favorite part of tonight was the look on Bo Dallas's face when he was smirking with that.
He wasn't smirking.
He had a big smile on his face.
No.
Yes, he did.
He did.
He had
you said this earlier. I let it go.
He had a smile on his face.
He looked like he had seen a ghost.
No. Bo Dallas?
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He had a smile on his face. I'm telling you.
Okay. I'm going to look it up.
Go look it up. He had a big smile on his face like a Cheshire cat. He knows what's going on. He knows where he's going. The plan is
terrifying.
That's when he was in the room with Adam Pearce coming in? No, he wasn't.
Look at this. Look, that's the room right there. He wasn't smiling. He looks possessed.
Well, whatever. That was my favorite part of the match tonight.
Regardless of the look of it.
Regardless of the look, I thought it was a smile. I got bad eyes, but I thought it was a smile, like he had a big smile on his face, like he knows what's happening. He's in control.
He looked demonic.
And I like that he was shown tonight, and it wasn't Uncle Howdy. We got a character behind the Uncle Howdy, and that's what I liked about tonight. That gave me the chills. It gave me like my hair when I saw him. Yeah. That was my favorite part of the match.
We were on the live stream, and
it gave me that chill, like, whoa, look, there he is. He
literally goes, look at my arm. Oh my God, my hair's staring
And
up.
if it was Uncle Howdy, I wouldn't have got that chill. But the fact that it was Bo Dallas and not Uncle Howdy, it gave me that chill.
All right, so last question, and we'll send everybody on your way. Raw, 1 to 10, what would you grade it?
It was a pretty good show tonight. Even though they didn't have a lot of matches. They didn't have, but it was I give it an 8.5.
I was going to say 8.3. So
yeah, so it's right there.
We're pretty
in the
much
same
right
boat.
there.
Yeah, I give it an
8.5.
It's a good show.
Good show. We enjoyed it. A lot of entertaining points. It held my attention throughout. Good wrestling. What more could you really want?
No.
And it helped push a lot of the narratives towards SummerSlam, which is huge. It's because we're always on to the next show. And with that being said, we are done with this show. So we will see you next time on It's Real to Us, the Wrestling Podcast. I am Anthony the Mark. He is Tony the Father.
I'm going to sleep, and everybody have a great night. Don't forget to subscribe and like.
Bye-bye, everyone.
See you.